Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
They win the final game 5-2 to remain the baseball champions of the world. The Yankees, with this 9-0 crusher, have won their 17th World Series. The Yankees again are world champions. The Yankees win their 21st World Series.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
Welcome back, Yankee fan. This is another episode of Chase for 28. This is episode number 58. I am Chris, and I am joined by, here in the wintertime, the podcast Padre. Merry New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody.
We are back, and we've got another voice here. AJ is still on special assignment, and we are welcoming in literally another member of the family. We want to welcome in my cousin, the Cousini. There you go.
He came up with it. There you go.
Exactly, the Cousini. Great.
That's baseball, Susan. Welcome to the podcast, my cousin Jim.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
All right. Jim, you're a lifelong Yankee fan.
Born and raised, yes. By this man, one of the men on this podcast, as you might say. Yeah.
He had no choice in the matter.
I had no choice. I got noogies if I didn't. So
he didn't get any grandma's meatballs if he wasn't a Yankee
Precisely.
fan.
Precisely.
All right, be honest. Is that what you're cooking for him tomorrow?
Yes.
I was going to say, yeah. Oh, yeah. It better be. Oh, I'm not coming.
I took him down off the Christmas tree.
Son of a... Keeping it clean. All right. So before we dive into today's topic, which the Cousini has brought to the table, Jim, who's your favorite Yankee?
Growing up, Don Mattingly, far and away. In fact, I took a road trip as in fact, I'm in my den. Look at some point, probably behind me, there's a picture. A friend of mine jumped on the road and drove out to the old Detroit Tiger Stadium and hung out and waited for the players after the game to come out. And who, of all people, walks out but Don Mattingly himself? And I, just like a schoolgirl, run up to him and say, "Mr. Mattingly, can I have your autograph?" And he goes, "Sure." It was like you're meeting Jesus, and I was like, "Mike," and I said, "Sure." And he scribbled it down on a piece of paper, and I've had that my entire life. So he's been a big growing up. I always loved him, and if Wendy can hear me, my wife can hear me from downstairs. She'll pipe in that I wanted to name my daughter Mattingly. That's a big thing that was she let me name her Casey, which is at least baseball related. So I got a little bit of it. Mattingly was not going to fly.
And how about current favorite Yankee?
Current favorite Yankee? That's a good question. Let's see. Gosh,
Is this a pregnant pause?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I Judge. It has to be Judge. I would go. I was very hopeful that he would re-sign with them, and he did, and so that's been a good development.
Nice. Of course, we're very excited here on the program that he re-signed, because that makes life a little bit easier.
Yes.
All right, Pop. As we get into this episode, you brought a little trivia to us. Mm-hmm. We didn't let you spoil it before we hit record. So what do you have for us here to start the new year?
Okay. In anticipation of the broadcast number 58, I was looking at Yankee records. And of course, it's too easy to go look at the good ones, home runs, RBIs, and whatnot. So I says, let me go look at the strikeouts. And I think earlier in the episodes, there was a trivia of who was the Yankee all-time leader in being struck out. And the answer is Derek Jeter. I'm looking at the strikeouts, And I said, oh, let me go look at like the all-time list. And I just concentrated on the top 5. So that's my trivia question. Not who are the top 5, but who is number 5. It's a surprising Yankee. I would have never thought of him in a million years that he struck out enough times to be number 5 on the list.
All right. We'll have that question before the episode is over. And both
I'll give you one hint.
Oh,
he
okay.
was in your lifetime.
In my lifetime.
Not when you were a baby either.
Okay. Somebody who I would have watched play.
Oh, you watched this guy play. Yep, you did.
Okay. All
right.
Well, I will be embarrassed later in the episode.
Okay.
Just put it off for the moment.
All right. So the reason the Cuisini is here on the podcast is probably for a few months. Once you became aware of the show, you threw this topic out there, and I think it's a really good topic. And since there's really nothing else to talk about baseball and Yankee related here in January, I figure we bring you on. And if it goes well, I'll bring you back.
For the slow period.
For the slow period. A little downtime. So you have an issue, or you want to talk about retired numbers and
Don't
the Yankees.
Get me started.
That's why we're here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Discuss.
I'm a lifelong Yankee fan, and it goes without saying that retiring numbers for me is akin to immortalizing the player. And I think the Yankees, and again, there's been, Yankees catch a lot of flack for kind of willy-nilly retiring numbers. I think there's a certain what's the word? I think to a certain extent you immortalize a player when you retire the number. And I've always looked at it that way. Maybe I'm old fashioned, or maybe I'm ultra conservative in that respect. But I just think that, and particularly the Yankees, I mean, we all know amongst ourselves that there's no single digits left. You can't wear a single digit number. And I think that should be an honor earned, and I think that the standard is generally low. If you look at the list of players that have had that honor bestowed on them, it's a pretty long one. There are a lot of people, and I'm not here to say that they are not good players or good historic Yankees. I just don't think that rises to the level of retiring.
See, there I'll chime in. They're good players. Or I should say they were good players. But I'm going to agree with your point. Are they all-time players? Are they Babe Ruth? Are they Joe DiMaggio? Are they Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle? That's the elite class. That's like, the Mount Rushmore. The all-time names.
I think that's a perfect thing. There's not a lot of room on that mountain, and I think it should stay that way.
Yeah.
You could theoretically stick another face on that mountain, but it would be a lot of work. And I think you got to be a really special player. And there are things, and it's not just, there are players that haven't, I think, particularly, a couple that stand out for me, that I don't think, make it over the top.
Yeah. Well, let's set this up a little bit here. So the Yankees have retired 22 numbers. Correct. That includes 8 being retired twice. I counted it as one number.
Yeah,
right? But
Bill
obviously,
Dickey,
Bill Dickey and Berra. So 22 numbers out of a possible 100, because you got to count 0. Adam Ottavino.
Oh, that's right, Ottavino. I think that one's safe. See, you still got that single digit.
Correct. Yes, 0 is still available.
Coming this spring, Anthony Volpe, number 0.
Could be.
Or as we affectionately refer to him, Jesus. Because that's what he's expected to be. Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
Okay. Now, in anticipation of this, I took a peek at, just to refresh in my mind, all the retired numbers. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it as, like, in my mind, like checking off, like, yes, I agree. Nope. I had quite a few no's. Are we going through them, or are we just going to go to the one I know Cuisini wants to talk about?
Well, no, you happen to mention the particular one, and that one is a hot button for me. But it is not the only one, because again, my standard is very high.
Yes.
And we can again, you can lead a debate. So by all means,
Yeah. Now, there are numbers that, okay, the guy was a really good player. Don't give his number to Joe Schmo within 2 or 3, like they did with O'Neal 21. They gave it to some, I don't remember the guy's name. Was it Hawkins?
LaTroy Hawkins.
LaTroy Hawkins. All right, there. You should have never given his number to that guy. You should have waited, maybe wait till Paul O'Neal's dead and then give it to somebody. I don't know.
well, that's kind of the way I look at it. Is don't give it to somebody while the person's alive. That you can. I'm happy to do that, but
Yeah, okay.
the number
That's
is the
another
number.
point. Okay, so like I said, all right, I'm looking through them. We start with the single digits. Number
Well,
one.
Okay, let's do this one at a time. Let's go. Go ahead.
Number one, Billy Martin.
No,
I
No.
don't think that should have been retired. All right, and we don't have to go into a big debate. Just like yes
no,
or
exactly. We could.
Right.
Yeah, that's for
Well, how-
Thanksgiving.
no. This might get you some feedback on the podcast, Chris. Like, what are those crazy guys talking about?
I will make one comment about Billy Martin. Can you think of another profession where you can be fired and rehired multiple times to your job and then be celebrated? Probably not.
That's true.
Listen,
but
was he a colorful character in the Yankee history? Absolutely. Do I think it rises and do I think it rises to the level of retiring that number so that no one else and look at other franchises that are very, and again, the Yankees happen to be a very storied franchise and have a lot of epic players that do frankly deserve to have their numbers never worn by another player on that field. But let me put it this way, and again, we don't have to go down this rabbit hole. Is that Billy Martin was a very controversial, a good manager, maybe a Hall of Fame manager, but was he a Hall of Fame player?
No,
I really don't think so.
no, not at all. Not at all.
And I think that should be reserved, and we'll get to the number that really gets my goat. Is that it?
I think that's next.
Is that it should be reserved for people that wore it as a player, that actually stepped on the field and played the game of baseball in the uniform. That to me is a big thing. And I should pull Wendy in here because she'll hear me every now and again. Every time I I have the book right on the floor, Joe Torre's book, which I will read
On the floor.
I on the floor. No, it happens to be just where I put it. But I just think that it should be reserved for players that played the game, and that's not a knock on Joe Torre. I love the guy, but
we jumped right to number 6.
Well, I think it goes without saying that 2, 3, 4, and 5 are
Yes.
yeses.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're good.
no doubt.
So let's go with number 6. Go ahead.
Well, he
Yeah,
was a
I mean,
manager.
There are other managers who won championships with the Yankees, like 3, 4, or 5 championships. Their number's not retired. The only other one I could think of is Casey Stengel.
No, you're right.
Yes.
I mean, Joe McCarthy and all, there's other guys there.
And it's a single digit. There aren't any of those. I mean,
Yeah, you're the manager. They should have given you 83.
I hold him responsible for taking the number when he showed up at the first day. He should have said, "I'm not taking number 6. Give me 37 or whatever." I think it was, pardon my French, it was ballsy for him to take 6. I mean, who was he kidding? Yeah. Now again, he actually is in the Hall of Fame, so I can't necessarily use that standard for saying, "Oh, he doesn't deserve to be in there." But he's in the Hall of Fame for a lot more than what he did as the Yankees manager, although he was probably one of the better managers the Yankees have ever had. Yeah. But I use the same argument for him and Billy Martin. They didn't earn that number or that retirement of that number for their exploits as a player.
If he had his career as a Yankee and then he managed them,
hands down, I'd retire them. Yeah, he
Chris,
never played as a Yankee.
Chris, do a quick look up. What was his number as a player?
Oh, I already got that. He wore number 9 and number 15. He wore 9 with the Mets. He wore 9 with the Cardinals, and then with the Braves, both in Atlanta and Milwaukee, he wore 15.
All right. Well,
so I mean, 6 is a 9 flipped upside down.
No, what's 15 minus 9?
6.
There you go.
Are we gonna do this?
Yep. There you go.
To the guy that teaches calculus.
Okay. Want to keep going? Can you go past that? All right. So now you got all right, 7, 8, 9 is Maris, and Maris is only retired for that one season. Well, actually, no. I mean MVP twice, but again,
Was he?
he was the MVP the year before in 60 and 61.
Both for the Yankees.
As a Yankee, yeah.
And I will tell you that I read a lot of articles about the Yankees going a little willy-nilly and overboard, and he's the one that catches the most flack for having had his number retired. I'm surprised that more people don't bring up Joe Torre, but a lot of people will. If you ask somebody, oh, who doesn't deserve to have their number retired, they'll say Roger Maris, and it's because he really didn't spend. I mean, he was a Yankee, sure.
Yeah.
For sure, but he played a lot of his seasons on other teams. Kansas City A's, I think, or
he was on Kansas City. They traded him to the Yankees, and from there he went to the Cardinals. I'd say he was a Yankee for maybe
like 4
59,
years, maybe, right?
Maybe 59 to 65 or so, like that. That was it for him.
Right. So.
But yeah, he's basically in there. Like I said, he won 2 MVPs and he set the record for the home runs. Then he broke Root's record. Basically, that's in my mind, that's why they retired his number.
And he was on the team from 60 to 66.
Okay.
So 6 years. Yeah, all right, fair enough. And now the next number, the first double-digit number, I'd say is somewhat controversial. But I make the case that you can retire that because. Not only was he and he won an MVP award, he's in the Hall of Fame, and he did spend a lot of years in the Yankee, under the Yankee roof.
From the 40s till the 90s, yeah. Over 50 years.
So he played from 41 to 56.
Mm-hmm.
Right into
won
the
MVP one year, I think.
5-time All-Star.
1950. That's why I'm here.
5-time All-Star.
Right.
And obviously a multi-time world champion shortstop for the New York Yankees.
Yeah. And he stepped, when they retired him, it was during the season. He went right up to the booth.
Oh,
really? It wasn't like, retire the end of the year and then go to the booth the following year. It was like in the middle of the season.
We got another job for you.
Yeah.
Your range, you're losing a little bit on the field, so we got another work.
Yeah. Yeah. Kubek came up, so yeah, we got a new shortstop.
Yeah. So.
Right.
So I give Rizzuto a pass.
Yeah.
Partly because I grew up listening to him for I don't know how many.
Yes.
Special.
All right. I think the next one is 15. Munson.
Yep.
No. Next one is don't say nothing about Munson.
I won't.
Next one is Whitey Ford,
16.
chairman of the board.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Okay. Right. Now the fun starts. I believe the next one is 21.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, 20. Posada.
Posada.
Posada, yeah.
There's also Bucky Dent.
I was going to say, you were going to say Bucky Dent for 20.
That's what I was. And that's the thing is my formative years as a Yankee fan were rooting for Jorge Posada. I love the guy. I just don't know that you need to immortalize him by retiring his number.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean, World Series and whatnot, but all time great? No. Berra? No.
No, Yogi Berra, I would
I'm just saying, you're going to put him up there like he was Yogi Berra?
I thought you were saying, now you get crazy. Yeah.
All right. Now, again, not to spend time on everybody. All right, so that you got that one. They just retired O'Neill, 21.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
Love the guy.
Great Yankee, the Warrior.
Yeah.
But not to retire.
Precisely.
What's next? 23, Mattingly. All right.
Mattingly.
Now, again, I love Mattingly to death. I told you the story about getting his autograph. He was a Yankee captain. So
yes, hold on. That can't be a barometer that we use.
No, I'm just saying he's one of the hardest ones emotionally for me to say no to. And yet I still, based on the standards that I am willing to abide by, if you came to me and said, well, by your standards, you really should knock 23 off, it would break my heart, but I would say, you know what, to be consistent with the standards that I've put forth, maybe we got to let it go. And it's not like he stuck around. He's been coaching, with the Marlins and.
Well, that wasn't his fault. They hired Girardi instead of him.
Yeah, no, I fair enough.
All right. Now let me throw this one at you. We know the career, but I can't say Jim. Cuisine.
Cuisine.
I've told this to Chris but this goes back to when he was like a little young Yankee fan. You know what Don Mattingly was before he hurt his back.
Oh,
right?
He was a Hall of Famer.
You know. All right. So now I throw this at you. If he never had hurt his back and his career continued the way it was, 30, 35 home runs and the RBIs and whatnot, all right, now retire the number? I think he would have been in the Hall of Fame, no doubt.
I think he would have been in the Hall of Fame, and then he would have hit the standard that I have, and I emotionally, like I said, we're ultimately baseball fans here. We bleed pinstripe blue and all that good stuff. So a lot of this stuff is emotional anyway, and none of this is making logical sense. But yeah, Don Mattingly is. I should pull it up here and find you the picture of me standing with him outside Detroit Stadium. Like I was like a little. I mean, I was in college at the time with a friend of mine, and I was babbling like a 6-year-old. Like, oh, that's the kind of effect he had. And any young kid growing up, all of us here, different eras, grew up, idolizing those guys. And I it's hard for me to sit here and make that argument, but to remain true to the logic that I've put forth here, I'd say he doesn't deserve it for that reason, for the standard of retiring a number. And again, you use the thing, wait till he passes away. Don't give it to anybody out for as long as he lives, so that while he's alive and his family, sees him play or be around, no one's ever going to see him wear that number wear the number on a Yankee. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Now, I would say, without going through all the other numbers one by one, is there any other number retired where we say, yep, retire it?
Yep, it should be retired?
Yes. Chris, I know you got the list up in front of you.
I'm looking at it.
Go ahead, run through it. So after 23, go.
Well, I got to go one by one. Elston Howard,
32.
Stengel, 32,
All right.
37.
All right.
Rivera, definite yes.
Rivera, yes. Elston Howard, no.
Casey Stengel, there's your manager.
Yeah, that's another one. I
don't know so much if it was because the Yankees and the championships. I think it was like the guy played till he was 103.
Yeah, I don't remember him ever. Again, he's before my time, so to speak. I don't remember him even as a Yankee. I mean, I remember him.
No, because they replaced him in the 50s as manager, and the next time he popped up was when he managed the Mets.
He was the manager of the Yankees from 1949 to 1960.
Oh, he did stay that long. Okay, 1960. And they won a hell of a lot of championships in the 50s.
Yeah.
He's the Joe Torre of his era.
I think more.
And those are the only two managers that have their numbers retired.
Yeah, I think he's more of like all time. So all right, he managed the Yankees, he managed the Mets, he played. There's actually stories about him, like when he played back in, believe it or not, the 20s, about what a good player he was. He wasn't in the Hall of Fame, but you read clips about, this player that did this. And you're like, wait a minute, it was Casey Stengel that did that?
Yeah, he's iconic. And again, I'm arguing sort of against myself, but I don't know. I don't know well enough about him to say, God, that guy was a true Yankee. I just know his name, and I know that coached the Yankees, and that's all I know about him. I'd defer to you, John.
He is somebody that when you picture him, you can't picture him being young playing baseball.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember a young Casey Stengel. Even the old time, like the black and whites.
Yeah,
the guys running around at
all I remember is like little video clips of him when he was managing the Mets, and nobody could understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
So all right. So what do you got after 37? All right, Reggie Jackson, no. Yankee for 5 minutes, no.
And then you had one hell of a game in a World Series and got them over the hump. But does he deserve to have his number retired? I don't know.
No.
Again, perfect example of a guy that don't let anybody ever wear 44 while that guy's alive. Do him that honor, and then
they should have
slap it on somebody else.
They should have took it off the wall the second he became a puppet executive with the Astros 2 years ago.
Yeah,
as an advisor. Really?
Yeah.
Then we got 46. Andy Pettit?
No.
No.
Nope.
Uh,
49, Ron Guidry.
Again, a guy that I grew up idolizing. I loved Ron Guidry in the year he had, the
Yeah.
1 year he had. But is it enough to not let any other player wear that number? I don't know.
You're talking about an all-time Yankee, but not an all-time legend great.
Player.
Yeah.
An icon.
So
and then Bernie
what,
Williams
next?
again.
And then Bernie Williams.
No.
I think we're getting silly here. I grew up rooting for Bernie Williams. I just don't think he deserves to have his number retired.
Yeah, again, while you're around, nobody wears 51, but I'll give you a plaque.
Yeah.
And there's lots of guys in Monument Park that have plaques. I mean, the Pope has one, right?
Wait a minute. What position did he play?
He had a cannon arm. Nobody dared, first to third.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it.
You didn't steal on him.
Boom. There we go.
All right.
So let's recap. We say no to Billy Martin. We say no to Joe Torre. We say no to Roger Maris. We say no to Posada, O'Neill. Are we no on Mattingly?
I would say no. And listen, we skipped over, and I, out of respect for you, you went right over Thurman Munson. Are you having the same? Are you? What's your guy's not a Hall of Fame player?
Nobody will ever wear that again. I mean, they still got his jersey hanging up in a locker in the stadium. So
they still have his lock. They moved his locker.
Yeah, that's
into
his locker.
the new stadium.
It's his locker. Nobody's wearing that number.
And I get that. I again, same reason. There's some people that you can't.
All right. There are people surrounding your house right now with torches.
I'm not coming for dinner, am I?
Yeah, you're getting a meatball.
Right in the head.
Well, I can't speak to Thurman Munson, obviously, before my time. But the point I wanted to make was, if I look at the Yankees during my lifetime, the core four, seeing the World Series championships of the late 90s, if I look back at the 2, the 3, 4, the 5, those special Yankees, right? They came from that special time in Yankee history. If we look at that type of judgment and what I think are your standards, Cuisini, would be like Derek Jeter would be the one. He was a yes from all of us.
Yeah.
He embodies and defines this era of Yankee baseball.
Yeah, of that more recent era, I would say yes. And I can't find any of them. And again, you and I both spent our formative years, so to speak, rooting for those teams and those players. So I can't. There's a part of me, there's a little part of me that, my heart breaks to make the argument to not retire. And again, putting him aside, Thurman Munson, but the Bernie Williams, the one I kind of chuckle at the most is Andy Pettit. I mean, guy left the Yankees and went to play for the Astros. I mean, so what are we doing here? You can make the argument for, and that's another standard. You could say, well, did they play for any other teams? Well, Ron Guidry, he may not have had a Hall of Fame career. He had a Hall of Fame season, but did he play for any other? Did he ever wear another uniform other than pinstripes? Never. And that made me say more about him as a player, but he didn't. So,
I'll give you this one for Pettit because I remember when he went to Houston, it was because, was it Cashman was the GM then?
Yeah.
He thought Pettit was done, that he had nothing left.
Yes.
And Pettit went to Houston for 3 seasons, came back to the Yankees, retired, spent 1 year out, and then came back and pitched 1 more year. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you realize it. If he had never left the Yankees, he would have been their all-time leader in wins. He was that close to Whitey Ford. If he was there for those 3 years from Houston, he would have been the all-time Yankee leader.
I'm not saying he's not a good pitcher. But is he a Hall of Fame pitcher? That's another standard you can
see. Now, if he stayed with the Yankees, I think if he played his whole career with the Yankees, he has the World Series stuff, what he did, against Atlanta, the wins he had.
Yeah.
I think if he had stayed as a Yankee, he would have been elected to the Hall of Fame. I don't think there would have been a question about it.
And he's also somebody that when you talk about him, when you say, what pitchers would you want on the mound in a big spot?
You'd say
his
Andy
name
Pettitte.
his name comes up. Andy Pettitte. Why do you like?
No question.
Now,
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You both kind of hinted at like, did they play their whole careers as Yankees? Should it be considered that some of these all-time greats that we talk about, free agency didn't exist? If Lou Gehrig or DiMaggio were able to become free agents, would they have stayed as Yankees? What if they hit what we know as the open market, right? What if they had the opportunity to leave and make money? Would they have stayed as Yankees? They couldn't leave.
Was Steve Cohen around then? He might have got him.
Good Lord. It was a simpler game back then. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Let me ask you this one. All right, on the topic, maybe
Kind of bordered on slavery, but that's
this comes up in a couple of years. CC Sabathia.
No.
Is he going into the Hall of Fame?
Will he go to the Hall of Fame? He will probably go to the Hall of Fame. Yes.
I think, yeah. You don't retire his number.
Are they going to retire his number? Probably.
I don't even know what his number is. Is it 46?
52.
52.
Yeah. Are they going to retire it? Probably.
But now
they?
No.
I don't think.
Let me ask you this then. Go ahead. What were you going to say? You're saying Sabathia. I want to bring up another name.
Go ahead. Well,
let's say after the next 9 years go by,
Judge,
and they have not won a World Series, but they threw all this money at Aaron Judge. Are they retiring number 99?
Well, it's hard to say right now at this moment in time, but I would say that if the Yankees, because he won the MVP, so he's got that in his pocket, and if they don't win a World Series, it becomes
he's the modern Mattingly. He's another Mattingly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beloved by fans.
Yes.
Just
if he has the seasons and he ends up like, I don't know if he can get to 500 home runs, but if he gets like 450 or something, and he wins a couple of more home run things and whatnot, they're going to retire his number. They will.
Yeah, it's not like anybody's asking for 99.
True.
I'm waiting. I see in my lifetime when I see the player come up with the 3 digits on his back.
Then you've been here too long. I hope that happens.
Well, they can still go to the single digits, but put negative signs. Oh, still like 2 of them.
Because those are real numbers too.
Yes,
there you go.
They are.
Thank you, Captain Calculus.
That's right. Watch out. Hey, when Colton comes back to baseball and he's playing for the Yankees as Radical 7.
Radical 7. Or a fraction.
There you go.
Wasn't there that wee Willie Keeler guy who was the little tiny person?
There was a midget, yes. That's right. And he squatted. Yeah. I remember seeing a picture of him. He was like 2'2" when he squatted.
All right, this podcast has officially gone over the...
That's routine for this thing to go off the rails that are metaphorical.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. So I was going to bring up the idea of, kind of what they do in the NFL, like with the Giants, the Jets, and other teams. They have their Ring of Honor. And in thinking about this conversation that we were going to have, I thought about Rings of Honor. And then I remembered, well, we've got Monument Park. We've got the plaques. Mm-hmm. The Yankees have a way to show respect and immortalize the careers of contributors. And like we're saying, there are certain numbers that don't need to be up on the wall. And they can be just as revered and remembered and respected.
I agree. It's immortalized with a lowercase I, so to speak. It's just because if you immortalize a number, if you put them in Monument Park, you're immortalizing them in some way. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be there for every Yankee fan that happens to go there for the rest of time. So I think that's a nice way of honoring players like the Elston Howards, the Reggie Jacksons, the frankly the Andy Pettittes, the Ron Guidrys, and invite them to every Hall of Fame, old timers day, let them get their
trot them out, hear the cheers.
Exactly.
God, speaking of trotting these guys out, I like the Navy blazers that they wear. Like they won the Masters, but they're these. You see them with these ceremonies now? They'll have these Yankee blazers that are navy blue with the NY on the breast. Pay attention at Old Timers Day or anything they do big.
Okay.
They trot them out there. They got these nice blazers on. I want a blazer.
You want a blazer?
Yeah. I want a navy blue blazer.
Standard issue.
Yeah, too bad. Christmas just passed.
Exactly.
All All right. Is there,
So
is
for
there
those who are listening, all of this information and things that I was looking up, I was using the website yankeenumbers.com, and they've got all sorts of information about, you guessed it, the Yankee numbers, who wore it, how long. So it's like a very Yankee-centric version of baseballreference.com. So that'll be in the show notes for this episode.
is there anything to talk about current state of the Yankees? And
here's a headline. Yankees continue search to fill left field position.
Yep. Everybody and their brother's name has been brought up for that.
I also saw that while we have talked previously about trading Gleyber Torres, what is now coming up in articles is he's kind of tough to trade when we really don't know how dependable DJ LeMahieu is and his health.
Yes. I saw one today where they're like, they're perfectly comfortable with leaving DJ LeMahieu as what they originally got him for. Play first, play second, play third, move all around. You're going to play 4 days a week, and that's what you're doing.
Is he ready? You think he's going to be ready by opening day? Because I know he's still sort of in rehab, isn't he?
They said he's running around in Florida. He's doing all baseball activities and stuff.
All right, fair enough.
Again, I don't think you can, after the last 2 years, I don't know, injuries. He had his, what was it? Last year was his groin, I think, gave him problems. And this year was the foot, the toe.
Just before Christmas, Aaron Boone came out and said that it looks like LeMahieu will be able to avoid surgery on his toe. So he never had any surgery.
Right.
Right. He's just rehabbing now. I think you're right. Yeah. He is rehabbing down there.
And I don't understand that. If it was something that could have had surgery, why didn't they do it on October 10th?
Here you go. It's a classic professional sports dilemma. This is from yanksgoyard.com. The Yankees' plan was to wait 6 to 8 weeks from around November 18th to see if he would need surgery and see if it healed and rehabbed, which means we're about 6 to 8 weeks from that point where now he would potentially need surgery in January if they were going to put him under the knife.
Yeah, which would put him out till when?
Put him out.
Which would put his opening day status in question.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, of course he wouldn't be ready. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
What's his number?
26.
26. Thank you.
Oh, well. But,
actually, we talk about numbers. I really appreciated Joe Girardi when he came to the team and he put the 27 on his back because when he took over, that was the next championship number to win.
Right.
And he was quoted, "I'm putting the target on my back. I'm going to wear what our goal is."
Mm-hmm. And he did it.
How come after that season he didn't change to 28?
28.
He did.
He did?
He did.
I don't remember that.
He did update his number, yes.
All right.
So he's consistent.
You've schooled the older gents in this.
What number's Boone wearing?
Boone wears number
18.
17.
Is it 8?
17?
Well, that's Mickey. I think of Mickey Rivers when I think of 17.
Well,
that's just
Boone, Mickey Rivers, they're often confused.
Exactly.
Yeah, he wears 17. I think he wore 18 when he hit that home run.
That's what I'm thinking.
Against Wakefield.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But again, we go on. We still got Donaldson. We still got IKF. We still got Hicks.
Yeah. What's Chapman's status? I heard that
they had a thing today. There was a rumor that they thought the Dodgers were interested, but then somebody from Los Angeles wrote, nope, we're not interested in them. There's no truth to that rumor. Yeah. So I haven't heard of anybody else looking at him.
Yeah, that headline from 5 hours ago from the Post. Chapman's free agency lingers as false false Dodgers hope.
Yeah.
I don't want him back. I didn't want him in the first place.
Oh, I told you.
And then when he proved to be a scumbag, I did not want him back ever.
Yeah, was it? He missed the workout for the playoffs that he went to Florida. Nah, go away.
He's a loser.
Maybe they'll call Zach Britton in to give him a look, earn a contract.
There's a name.
Oh, well. Well, this was fun.
Wait.
It was.
You want the trivia?
Oh, crap.
All right. Do it. Come on.
All right. So what was the trivia question again? You wanted to know. Go ahead. Repeat the question.
The all-time Yankee batters strikeouts who struck out. Jeter's first. Then came Mantle, Posada, and I believe Alex Rodriguez. All right.
He Top 4. Yankee all that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Number 5 on the list. Most strikeouts.
Number 5 on the list. Okay, most strikeouts. And you said I saw him play.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Winfield?
Nope.
I'll try this.
Ready? I'm going to give you another hint. After the year 2000, he played.
I'm going to try this. Alfonso Soriano.
No.
All right.
I'll give you a sarcastic hint. He's your favorite left fielder of the Yankees in the past 20 years.
My favorite left fielder.
It was a sarcastic hint.
Oh, Aaron Hicks?
No.
No.
The man's been hurt. You don't even come up to bat. No. Chris, your friend and mine, Brett Gardner.
Really?
Really. I was surprised when I saw that.
I didn't think I would have never guessed that. And I liked him as a player, and I still like him. I think it was a gritty,
yeah. Wasn't he supposed to be like a little slap hitter, put the bat on the ball? How'd you strike out that many times?
I would venture that's the only list in the team's record book he cracked the top 10 on.
He might be steals.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
he was around for a while, right? How many years?
He came up in 2008?
2008, yeah.
Wow. He was around for a while. And played just with the Yankees, too.
Well, just remember from what we said
So
before.
what you're saying is we need to put number 11 on the wall?
No. Let's not get crazy.
Let's just say the two foul poles represent his number.
Brett Gardner is number 3 all-time on the Yankee stolen base list.
There you go.
All right.
Would you like to know who number 1 is?
Stolen bases?
Ricky Henderson?
It is not Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson is number 2 with 326 steals as a Yankee.
You got to go back old time. It's not Mickey Rivers.
I'll even give you the number, 358.
I thought you were going to give me his player's number.
I don't know any player that wore 358.
Come back in 20 years.
Or the way the Yankees are going, they're going to need to.
Now batting, number 328.
328? 328.
I'll count it up from number 10. All right, we'll go 10 to 1. Mickey Mantle, Fritz Meisel,
What?
Wid Conroy, Ben Chapman. I'm counting 10 to. I'm counting it down.
Moving
it up. Wid Conroy, Ben Chapman.
What number?
Roy White.
Roy White.
Number 6, Roy White. Number 5, Hal Chase. Number 4, Willie Randolph. Number 3, Brett Gardner. Number 2, Ricky Henderson. And number 1.
What position did he play?
Number 1 is number 2.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, 358 stolen bases as a Yankee.
Huh.
And yet, when you think about it, I don't remember him stealing bases.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's longevity more than anything else. He didn't play for any other teams. He played for a long time on the Yankees.
Well, just remember that from what you said before, it's a good thing the Pope played for the Yankees. He would have thrown him out.
Oh, Lord.
All righty.
All right. This was fun. So we're going to wrap up episode 58 of the podcast. If you've got opinions, and Lord knows we may have triggered some of you listening with this conversation.
58, I think that was Zach Britton. I don't know what his number was.
Maybe we should retire this episode.
We're going to hang it up on the wall. If you have questions or comments, you can shoot us an email, feedback@chasefor28.com. We're also on Twitter @chasefor28pod. The next episode will come at you at some point before spring training starts. And send us a voicemail, chasefor28.com/voicemail. And you can support the show in a couple ways. Number 1, tell a fellow Yankee fan about the podcast. Cousini, you going to tell your kids to listen?
Absolutely.
All right,
Sure.
That's at least 3 more listens. 3, right?
There you go. As far as I know.
And you can also become a legend by visiting chasefor28.com/legend and grab some merch. chasefor28.com/merch. The Nobody Beats the Riz t-shirts are flying off the shelves, as well as our Darth Vader shirts. So check those out. And of course, check out the SeatGeek app. Go to chasefor28.com/SeatGeek. Use our promo code the first time you check out, chasefor28, and save $20 off your first ticket purchase, concerts, hockey, football, or save it for spring baseball. That's it for this episode. Thank you, Podcast Padre. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Cousini. First appearance on the podcast. I think we'll bring you back. This was
Thank
fun.
you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you next time. Wave goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.